I am the prince priest of the beast. Now, early in the lecture, I told you there was two beasts. There's a double beast in the book of Revelation. One is the physical manifestation of a government on the planet. The other one is the primal force of nature. What is nature? A beast. What is nature? A beast. Different animals. But they said that the man, you see the sphinx that sit in the middle of the earth. The reason why they put the head on top of the animal or the lion, they say because everything that the animal can do, when you raise yourself up to God, you can do too. You understand? You can also do too. So he said, I'm the prince priest of the beast, and they're talking about the black dot seed that is in you, which is the beast 666. Now let me go into some science to understand, because you got to understand what is getting ready to go down with you right now. Y'all all right? Yeah. Look in your holy Kabbalah, the Kabbalistic letters. One of the names of Jesus, in fact, one of the names of Jesus, in fact, is the number of the beast 666. Nevertheless, the fact which horrifies most people easily can be verified by anyone who knows the numerical equivalency of the Hebrew alphabet. The Hebrew alphabet in the Holy Kabbalah. The Hebrew alphabet in the Holy Kabbalah averages up with Jesus. When you look at Jesus' name in the Hebrew letters, and there's a number, every man, every woman is a star, and every number is infinite. And the Holy Kabbalah has the Hebrew letters, and it also has the numbers to it. And when you line up the numbers in the Holy Kabbalah to the number of Jesus, it means 666, which is the key to the Bible. Now we go deeper into this. Now, 666 is the number of a man. It's the number of a man which is encoded in our DNA. The key corresponds to 666 in a periodic table of chemistry. This has to do with carbon. Carbon is the basics or the products of what you know as melanin. Melanin, what you know of, is the blackness that's in you. And melanin is a byproduct of the original carbon. And the same carbon that is in the black dot, which is in you, is in the black holes in space. And in the core of every star is the carbonated atom. You see what I'm saying? Which is inside of you that makes you different from the white man, because he does not have it. He is a mutant. So, it says, which has to do with carbon, as known as the elemental number of 12. 12 times 12 equals 144,000, which is apocalypse, which is a symbolic number that means you. Because it's not just talking about only 144,000 people. Hell, if it was only 144,000 people, like they say, you'd have to go in and invent some niggas to fill that thing. But it's a symbolic number that means the chosen seed, a seed, the black dot seed of Israel. Now, it says that the number 12, and it says it had all life on this planet except the mutant is considered to be carbon-based because the carbon atom is conspicuously present in all living things. The carbonated atom has to do with 6 electrons, 6 protons, and 6 neutrons, which is the magnetic force field and the actual collective makeup of the gods of Earth. The atom, 6 electrons, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 666. You see what I'm saying? Which is the black dot seed in you. And when you rise up to God, you'll be 777. 777, the completion, because 7 is the holy number. Check. Y'all with me? Y'all with me? Now, let's go on a little bit, and let's go on a little bit, and let's deal with a little more things. The beast of Ankh-Nakhonsu. Ankh-Nakhonsu recorded in that stela out of the ancient empire of Atlantis, which was the last time you were on earth as gods before you fell. He recorded that there was a stone that came from the star system Sirius, and the stone came from Sirius B, and that stone was called the sixth stone, and that sixth stone was made up of carbon, and in that sixth stone they took it and they gave everybody a part of that particular stone that is the actual black carbonated atom of the black dot or the black hole in heaven. And that means in actual all, you have the same thing that God has in him because you are the children of God. That sixth stone. Later on, the planetary representation of the star system Sirius is Saturn. And Saturn became the planetary representation, and all of your other planets came from Saturn. That's why the Dogon had to repolarize Saturn. And Saturn is called a black planet. And the makeup of Saturn is black carbon. And the planetary representation of Saturn, you have the Kaaba stone is reported to come from Saturn. So when you see the actual Muslims going around the Kaaba stone, is representing the black body of God. And since you are black, you are God's. Allah, the arm, the leg, the head, the arm. Allah. You see what I'm saying? Now, that particular Kaaba, which the white boys went to Mecca and stole a piece of the Kaaba in the early 1900s, went back and actually did some chemical analysis on the Kaaba, and they found out it was pure carbon or pure melanin, which is inside of you, which is the carbon key component of God, the triple blackness of space. In the beginning, there was blackness.